What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode in the career mode. Last time out, we faced Spurs in that Carabao Cup final. So if you've missed the episode, you do want to go back and check it out and see how we performed in our first cup final of the series. So that one is already uploaded on the channel. If I remember, I will leave a link to it in the description below. But if I don't, I apologize in advance. But do check it out. You can go on the channel and then find it there. It's not too hard to do. So, following that, we then faced West Ham at home. I decided to go ahead and sim this one. Obiang picked up a red card early on in the game, which gave us a platform to build upon. And Balotelli scored the opening goal before I believe we got a second one in the game to win it 2-0 late on, just before. No, we didn't. I'm telling a lie. Yeah, don't know why I thought I ended 2-0. Maybe it's just a stupid thing from myself there. But then, after that game, we faced off against Borussia Dortmund in the second leg of the Champions League. You guys know, my main aim is to just try and be as competitive as we can. I didn't feel like at the start of this season we were out-and-out favourites. I didn't feel like we were going to be able to win this season. But given the circumstances, in the Champions League, the way we've performed, there are some really tough teams still in there. I get that. But considering where we are now, one game away from the quarterfinals, you just have to start dreaming, especially if we do get through to those quarterfinals. So a 2-0 win over in Germany gives us an aggregate scoreline of that 2-0, and the two-way goals as well means that we do have those to fall back on. But of course, any goals that Borussia Dortmund score today will all be counting as away goals. And they put their intent out very, very early on. Marco Reus with a shot from distance, requiring the palms of Frank Brown to make the save. But what I will say is, they didn't come here and look to defend. They came here and looked to go forward, which would give us a little bit to work with, maybe going forward ourselves. If we can catch them potentially on the counter-attack, we might be in good standing. I don't like playing counter-attack football, but sometimes it's got to be done, especially when stuff like this happens. 11 minutes on the clock. Reus puts in the ball. Sanabria gets up brilliantly and heads Dortmund back into the tie to make it 1-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. So might have to just think about going defensive and play counter-attack for the moment, because 11 minutes into the game, we'd already conceded. And it's not the start that I was hoping to see. Like I said, we needed to close this one out. So one more goal for Dortmund. We're back on level terms. It's that simple. But we did go up the other end anyways and find our way back into the game. Brahimi scoring it to make it 1-1. This goal, though, doesn't have that much of a magnitude, because, like I said, every goal Dortmund score is away goals. So all this means is now they have to score 2 to level it up. But if they do score the 2 and level it up, they go through on the away goal ruling anyway. So 2 goals is all they need, like it was previously when they made it 1-0. So it's not really changed too much in the outcome of the game. But obviously, for the momentum and such, it gave us a little bit of something to build on. And it just allowed me to kind of calm down a little bit, because the start we had was such a nervy start. And I think that was more down to the fact of the advantage that we got. I felt like we could just sit back a little bit, and then them scoring so early on didn't really make that, assumption correct. Artur, though, going close in the second half from a free kick. A good save there from the Dortmund goalkeeper. We put the corner in, but it's well dealt with as well by the goalkeeper, who again punches out. I've got a problem with this, though. As you can see, every single time I put a corner or a cross in, it normally is headed out or punched out by the goalkeeper, and I never have a player there to pick up the loose ball. It seems to always bounce straight through to our opponents, who then get on the counter-attack every time without fail. So that is effectively the most annoying bit about it. But I had to throw this clip in here because just before I started to make a change to the game, Kehrer had pulled off an unbelievable block inside our box to stop Dortmund from scoring a second goal, which would have made this a very nervy last few minutes in this game, I can assure you of that. So we started making some changes, getting some fresh legs on, trying to make sure that we didn't lose this game. And as you can see, with the clock counting down, I put down my control at this point because I felt like the referee was going to blow his whistle. He didn't do. Look how many minutes we've played over the allotted time here. An extra 2.5 minutes in total eventually before the referee finally brings the game to a close. Ridiculous refereeing. Didn't matter though, the 1-1 draw was enough on the night, and that got us through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Who will await us in that draw? We will find out in a moment's time to come. But in the end, it wasn't a great performance. You can see match facts. We actually were the worst side on the night of the Amex, but we did get the draw at least. So we do have that to think about. I mean, the main job was done. The main job was done over in Germany. And to be fair, we could have been home and dry after that first leg in Germany. We hit the post. We had a few other chances that could have gone our way. So we just have to take it with a pinch of salt, really. And the draw was then made. As you can see right here, we were drawn out and we would face off against Germany's Bayer Leverkusen. So another German side awaits us in the next round of the Champions League. The rest of the draw, Spurs, Man United, Bayern, Inter, and Juventus versus Chelsea. So like I said, a lot of good teams still left in there, and a lot of them that can cause problems later on for us. But we just need to put that to one side now. We've got a job to do in the Premier League because it is pretty close, but Spurs are dropping points recently. They haven't had a great run of results, and if they're not careful, they're actually going to drop out of second place, potentially even down to fourth. I think City are closing the gap a little bit as well, and I can't remember who the other team are in terms of that one, but I know City, out of nowhere, have just decided to put this run of results together where they're now climbing up the division quite rapidly. Liverpool, on the other hand, they're certainly not. They are 13th place going into this game. Still, they had a horrendous start to the season. I said they'd pick it up. I was wrong. And on 18th of March, 2020, they still find themselves down in 13th place. And when you see their starting 11, you're going to question how on earth that is actually a thing. Because when I show you this, every one of their players would quite easily get into my Brighton side. That's not even an overstatement. That is being serious. So I have no idea how they are actually in 13th place coming into this. They're one of the top scorers of the division, but they are also pretty horrific when it comes to goals conceded. So this is their starting 11, and actually, I'll change that I said earlier. The only player I didn't want in that one would have been Lovren. The rest of them, I would quite happily have at this Brighton side. So 13th place is a certain underachievement for the side from Anfield, and we're going to play them today at their ground. This game was unbelievably tough. Like, I don't know what was going on. Just felt like my players were lacking a yard of pace to try and even close down the Liverpool players. Like here, Frank Brown, for me, is overstretching there. I thought he could have catched it originally, and we got away with a massive, massive mistake. Eventually, the ball falls down to Mane, who puts it wide of the open goal. So, like I said, it was more just, how on earth is this happening to us? Like, my player's lacking a yard of pace there. Kerr does well from the delivery from the cross, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't even press him and didn't switch to him. That was the game doing it for me, so thank you, EA. One of your blunders in your game has helped me out a little bit. And then the corner comes in, which we eventually clear. And the main problem I had was I just could not get out of our defensive line fully. Just could not get out. We do get one chance here. You can see Odriozola, lovely play, dragging it back, finding Rabiot. Rabiot to Arta, and this was our best chance of the game. Yep, best chance of the game for us. Thought it took a deflection. Nope, just a poor shot from Arta, straight through. And out for a goal kick, and then this happened. Like, 5 minutes to go. Like I said, couldn't get out of our own half. Misplaced the pass there, give it straight back to Liverpool. Here comes Mane. We eventually make a tackle on him. Then we try it again. Again, we pass it straight to Firmino. Then we have a mistake. Kerr, I have no idea how on earth he won that ball back there. Try and play the flick on from Balotelli. We lose it again. And I'm just thinking at this point, please do not score in the 90th minute. That's 3 misplaced passes in a row that we have played in order for this to actually have gone your way. Mane beats me down the left-hand side, puts the cross in towards Mohamed Salah, who gets up well, but it was straight into Frank Brown's hands. I was so glad that that one didn't go in the back of the net, because if that had have gone in from us playing those 3 passes earlier on in that move, honestly, I think I'd have lost my rag. So, again, match facts, less than convincing. Another poor performance, but at least we get the draw and not a defeat. Lewis Dunk getting man of the match there. Don't quite know how that's happened. Didn't feel like we did that well defensively, but apparently he deserved the man of the match. So after that game, I did make a decision. I was like, listen, I know this might upset quite a few of you guys in the comment section that don't like the whole pre-contract system, but I found that Eric Bailly was available. We need a new centre-back. It's always happy days when something comes available like this. I thought to myself, I'll only make this signing if he will take a pay cut back to 100 grand a week. He's on 130 currently at Manchester United. So that means no signing bonus, literally just the wages is what I was going to give him of 100k a week. So there is the first little bonus, the first little thing added. 100 grand a week, and he actually took the pay cut. So he realises that Brighton and Hove Albion might win the league this season, and we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and we've just won the Carabao Cup. In which case, he wants to be a part of that. So we're going to get him for free next year from Manchester United, well, in 6 months or so. In fact, even less than that now, because we're not in the January transfer window anymore. The only thing with that is, like I said, some people don't like the whole pre-contract system, think it makes it a little bit too easy. But given the circumstances, I'm struggling a little bit on Ultimate Difficulty recently, and I just feel like I want that big, solid central defender that's going to help us out for the long run. So, moving into this game here, like I said, Spurs have dropped points recently, and it allowed Manchester City and actually Manchester United, they were the other team, to claw it back and get themselves both ahead of Spurs. So now we found ourselves with a game in hand at the top of the table against Burnley, a team that were in the top 6, and we had something crazy like 11-point gap ahead of second place. So if we were to win this, that takes us even higher up in this title race. So pressure was a little bit on. Matej Vidra, oh my goodness me. I was so frustrated when I gave away this penalty. Like, I knew full well what was going to come. I tried to just stand off him with Kera, right? And then wait for him to take that touch, then make the tackle. But watch what happens. We try and make the tackle. He takes the touch, and instead of going for the ball, Kera's like, nah, I'm not even going to look where that ball's going. I'm just going to take my man out, give away the penalty, and disaster started at the Amex. Oh, my goodness. Jovetic stepping up for the away side. Luckily for us, though, he blazed it wide of the post. And inside 8 minutes, the score remained 0-0. It would have been a horrific start if that one had gone in, because we would have been a 0-0 down at the Amex, needing to win this one to get even more points ahead in the Premier League table. But with 30 minutes on the clock, Artur, as you can see, unfortunately the footage a little bit corrupting, but you still got to see the shot. Brahimi coming in clutch. It took a mega deflection though on the way through and found its way past the goalkeeper in order to give us the lead here. And honestly, that was the first real opportunity that we had of the game. So they wasted theirs, the penalty through Jovetic. We, on the other hand, scored ours through Brahimi. A lot of luck, though, with that one coming off the man in order to go in. So the massive deflection, possibly beating the goalkeeper, and there it was. So 1-0 up, looking for even more now, because I really wanted to try and get this result even higher, maybe a 4-5-0, just to get the confidence going, because as it stood, after this game, there was 8 games remaining, so there's still the potential for us to lose this. What a ball this is, by the way, from Sessegnon over to Watkins, who completely fluffed his lines. But mathematically, it's still possible for us to be caught. The only thing is, theoretically, I would like to think we're not going to lose this from this situation, especially when Mario Balotelli does this to make it 2-0 and secure the 3 points. Left-footed curling shot to the top corner. 2-0 Brighton. See you later, Burnley. A minute to play. That is the 3 points secured, and we will hold the top spot in the Premier League with 8 games remaining by about 15, 14 points, I think it was. Might have even been 11. I could have got it the wrong way around, but I do know for sure we're double, figures in terms of points ahead of second place. So if we lose it from this situation now, I think I only have myself to blame. So this will be the first time we're winning a league title on ultimate difficulty, and man, it feels good. Might have got ahead of ourselves, though, because there's still 8 games remaining. So might have said that now, and we might go and absolutely just have a calamity. So we'll see what's going to happen, though, next episode. That's going to be it for today, though, in terms of the games played. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, you guys are incredible for all that you do for me and the channel. Appreciate it so much. And if you did enjoy today's episode and you are new around here, the subscribe button is down below. You can follow me on the channel by clicking that. And alongside it should be the notification bell. Click that and be notified whenever a video goes live. That's it for the table. 13-point gap to City, 14 to United, 14 to Spurs, 14 to Chelsea. It's very close to the top 4 race. Burnley even in there at 6th place as well. But in terms of the top of the spot, we're 13 ahead with 8 games remaining. So 24 to play for, 13 ahead. I think it's pretty much secured. Having said that, we face Tottenham next in the next episode, followed with one of the games against Bayer Leverkusen. Interesting episode next time out. I'll see you all for it in the next couple of days. Until next time, guys, enjoy it, whatever it is you guys get up to. And I'll catch you all again very, very soon. Adios.